Hi, my name is Suzy Shinn. I'm a music producer, songwriter, and engineer living in Los Angeles, California, and I'm with OX Sound today. I think I saw other people were writing songs and putting them on MySpace, and for some reason I wanted to do that too, and that's kind of what kickstarted it all without me knowing. Like, I was using the Mac microphone. There was no interface. There was no plugins other than whatever was built into GarageBand, and I think even that I didn't understand. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, and I didn't have a musical family or like a producer or an engineer to kind of be like, this is a compressor, this is what it does, this is a guitar amplifier, you mic it, you know. I just thought music was magical and it appeared. I went to college in Boston for a little, and that kind of opened the door of like, you can produce, you know, Crystal Castles exists, and you produce that sound and those, you know, tones and songs form from there, and that kind of opened my eyes to everything. It just happened and I ran with it, and I didn't want to like lean on anyone. In college, it was like all dudes, you know, and I saw all these singer-songwriter, you know, Taylor Swift-esque, like, I want to play my guitar and sing, and like you couldn't get in the studio without like a dude, and I was like, I don't want to rely on someone, I want to be able to do this. I think a lot of my production is kind of rough around the edges. It's not perfect in my mind, and I'll never achieve perfect, and I come from a very modest, kind of chaotic family and upbringing in Wichita, Kansas. It's very not Hollywood, it's very not, you know, the glitz and glamour that I think people experience here. It's more rock and roll. It's more, yep, this is where I'm from. This is who I am. This is what you get. I don't know. I just like the punk rock of it all. There's so much music in the world. Like every day, how many thousands of songs are released, and I don't think people care how you did it. And that's what's great about bedroom pop, and that's what's great about I made a song on my laptop in 20 minutes and it connected with people. Or it took a year in a studio. Did you get the emotion? Did you get it? Is it there? Do you feel it? That's all. I love plugins. I use them every day, all over the place. I try not to do like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plugins in a row. Like, I think if at that point that better sound real weird and insane, or I should probably have a look at what I'm doing. Bloom, Arvox, the Waves plugin, Sound Toys, Output makes great stuff. Like, Jack, what are you doing? Come on. Sorry. Soothe and Portal, like, you know, PSP Vintage Warmer, Valhalla, like, whatever comes to mind. But at the same time, like, not having like it be super, super reliant and like fixing. I'm trying not to fix. I am not passionate about mixing, but you have to be able to mix somewhat what you're doing, or at least like lean on the room and the artist and the engineer, and like collectively be like, okay, this is popping up, whatever. So I do it as I go along, and it's like second kind of nature in that sense. And then when I need to make a rough mix, yeah, it needs to kind of sound kind of good, or else, you know, the A&R person, the artist, the label, the blah, 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 like, are gonna be like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing in the studio? This song is called Little Fish. It's still a work in progress. The artist is Frandsen. It's someone I found on TikTok, actually, and in Florida, and I'm a crazy person, and I DM'd him, and I was like, hey, want to come stay with me for a week and make as much music as we can? So this is something that we made in that time. Choked up, didn't start. So much for saving on a rainy day. Bought myself some dinner and stared at the northern stars. So when it came to production, Ian is extremely talented. The music and the emotion comes across through what he plays. And so I wanted everything to be live, and I really wanted it to sound as much as like a band as it could. He has this acoustic, like $200 guitar that he's done all his previous music on, and like I was like, I love how it sounds. And it's not even the guitar, it's about what's in his hands. So we started there. you have these crazy, you know, electric guitars that like on their own doesn't, you're like, okay. But you add them together and you get this conversation that happens within the guitars that I love. I work out of my house, so it's like we work with like the space that we have. But I wanted to like, I didn't want that up close drum sound. Like I wanted to hear space. I want stuff to sound good as I'm tracking, and like, you know, I don't want to spend 17 hours after tracking to try to make it sound good or to fix everything. Like I like using plugins in a creative sense. Like, you know, there's some gating and there's some EQ. Other than like the corrective EQ, some compression, stuff like that, I want to have fun with the plugins that I use. I find myself reaching out to the Bloom plugin in all kinds of ways. Like that could be like a violin. I want to sound a little more push, drums, guitar, vocals. On this song so far, like I already have like these little leads that are loud. And they sound cool, but then like the Bloom just kind of takes it the 20% more. And it just makes it sound a little bit more messed up, which I like. And then even in the case of like the acoustics right here, like if you take Bloom off, they sound good too. That, you know, putting Bloom almost like near squashing it on like the brink of the squash, and then but that's how I usually approach it. I just kind of like go frequency by frequencies and then like solo it. Like I kind of like go for the boosting method of I look for what sounds cool. And it's probably wrong to like boost that much lows, but I don't care. It's very user friendly and it does a lot. You're not just like, oh, I'm tweaking, which you absolutely could do, but like you can go crazy with it, and that's why I love it and use it. I reach for Soothe a lot when something's hurting my ears. Is my main go-to, and a lot of the times that's a guitar or that's a guitar bust or that's a vocal.
Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways.
He has a pretty great voice.
Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways.
So I'm not using it like too.
Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways. Choked up, but I'm breathing real great. Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways. Choked up, but I'm breathing real great.
I listen for like when it's like my ears pull back and I'm just like, oh, that is crazy.
Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways. Choked up, but I'm breathing real great. Looks right, but it's never both ways. I got so much left to be here.
Here's without.
Not gonna lie, say it goes both ways. Choked up, but I'm breathing real great. Looked right, but it's never both ways. I got so much left to be here. I got so much left to say. And
it's minimal. It just makes the bigger picture of when you're listening to everything and making sure these frequencies across the board and parts across the board kind of just like glue a little bit more, because it's not like this giant buildup of like, ow, 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 ow. That hurts my ears so much. That's how I use Soothe for across the boards. And again, like there's 5 vocals happening. There's 4 guitars on top of 2 more acoustics with 3 very brash lead electric guitars. And it's like, there's going to be, frequency buildup that happens. And I don't want to pull everything away and then you just have like a surgical, operation. And it's like, why don't you just record it better? But like finding instances and finding groups and finding subgroups or individual tracks here and there where it's like, okay, if I just like take that little bit away, if I just do that, it makes everything more cohesive and more flowing. My best piece of advice for navigating the music industry is being kind and being good, saying yes to things. Like, yeah, I'll go to that session at 10 p.m. Yeah, you want to write a song? Yes. Like this event that I probably don't want to go to, yeah, I'm going to go. And I'm going to have a good attitude about it. That song that you guys are listening to was Little Fish by Frandsen, great up-and-coming artist. I'm Suzy Shinn, and thank you to OX Sound for having me and being here and making great plugins. And yeah, thank you.